What's going on, Port fans? Welcome back to another video on my channel, and today we're going to be talking about Todd Marshall and the year that 2022 will bring for him. You've seen it in the title. It is a big year for Todd Marshall. Now, I'm not going to be diving into any negatives or anything about Toddy. I know he's a fine young player, he's a fine young lad, and he's got so much uproar and promise to come in his long career in AFL footy. We just hope that he finds that potential that we all know he has. And I'm going to go through it today and tell you why exactly Toddy has a big year ahead of him. Only recently, Todd Marshall signed a 2-year contract extension with Port Adelaide that will keep him at the club until 2024, which means the club has a lot of faith in what he brings to the team. I'm going to pinpoint some of the things that you might be missing when you're observing Todd Marshall's game, and some things you may be right about as well, that when he is playing and you can see exactly what is happening with him, that it may be a negative as such. But I'll point out that it does have its consequences, but also a little bit of a positive spin on it as well. And the 23-year-old, he's got a lot of promise, as we've seen. He's played 55 games, 57 goals in those 55 games, a few bags of 4, a lot of 3s. We did see last year, only played about 14 games. He played 20 games and kicked 24 goals, which is his highest output in a season to date in the 4 years that he has been at the club so far. So, look, we put a lot of big expectation on Toddy Marshall, and I think it's something that we need to push away a bit. We need to let Todd be able to find his feet a little bit better. Now, he's had a very troublesome last couple of years. He's only played games of 10, 12 in a season. His first year in 2017, he had a great end to the season, debuting and kicking goals and really making his mark. 2018, he started off so well, and then unfortunately had a few injuries and the unfortunate passing of his mother and then his father. Both his parents have gone. And then coming into 2019 and 2020, there was glimpses of what we could expect. And 2021 came along. I think we all thought, okay, this is the year, this is the mark he's going to have on the team. And while there was a period of time where Charlie Dixon wasn't playing with his ankle injury, that there was a lot of expectation on Todd to take the reins, and he's never really quite delivered. And I think that's overall probably one thing that's hurt him, is that career development where he hasn't had a smooth pre-season. He's had a lot of injury plagues in the early part of his career and the early part of the seasons as well, and he hasn't really been able to find consistency throughout those years. But when he has put games together, he hasn't really put them in positions where he's been able to be a match-winning forward or be a demanding, big, key position player. And that's where I think the coaches and us fans have to look at it and say, well, maybe he's not going to be that big, tall, key forward that that can help out Charlie Dixon. Maybe he's going to be that Westhoff type that can take those clunk marks and can swing back and can swing forth and go to the wing and use his ability and his smarts. He has great football smarts. There's a great kick on him as well. And barring a few set shot goal kicks that he's missed pretty easily, he's got a great technique. I think he really owns his own goal kicking, and he's capable of kicking 2, 3, 4 per game, which kind of reminds me of that Toby Thurston's type in the early 2000s, where he was able to go forward, kick 2, kick 3, not kick bags, but just help out treaders and help out Brendan Lade, who'd also go down there. And I think bringing that kind of context into what Todd Marshall was able to bring will help him develop a lot better and make his game a lot simpler. He shouldn't be able to go into a game and think, all right, I've got to kick 4 goals here, but also I've got to go up and get 20 possessions. That's not the type of tall key forward we want from Toddy. We want someone that presents, want someone that kicks a 2, 3 per game, takes those contested marks, but also can provide an option for those uncontested marks and allow us to really be able to play quickly, which has been something that's, when we have done so, it's a strong point. There was one game last year where I can't remember who we played, but he had 20 touches, took like 8 marks. He only kicked 1 goal, but it was that allowed Charlie Dixon to kick, I think, 4 or 5, but also the smalls were involved, and we were really able to develop our game and put a unique spin on it, which is something that we need to do in 2022 to be able to push forward and really challenge the D's and the Dogs and be able to stand up in final situations like the preliminary final. It's those kinds of moments and it's those kinds of things that if they tinker with a little bit, we're able to have a different outcome, which I think Todd Marshall is a key for 2022. A lot of people are going to disagree with me on that, and I'm expecting a few comments, and I want you to comment and let me know what your thoughts on Todd Marshall are for this year. But I'm really just trying to have an outlook where it's Todd, but he's not going to be that number one person that we think he's going to be. And I think that's the mindset we've got to change coming into this year. And I'm not saying we as in fans. I'm saying the we as in the club, the we as in what the coaches see. And I know the one key stat that I've seen the most is when he and Charlie Dixon are playing together. Charlie Dixon is kicking goals, and Port Adelaide win games of football. There's a lot of games that we've won, a good percentage of games that we win when those two are playing together. Charlie has to kick 2 or 3, but that is allowed because Todd Marshall is dragging that defender up the ground. He's taking the play with him, or he's demanding the footy somewhere else and allowing Charlie to have that space in the forward line. And I don't think someone like a Pete Laddams, who is now at Sydney, was able to do that. And I don't think Scotty Lysette as a ruckman can do that. But also, Georgiadis is still learning his craft, and you need someone now. He's 23 years old, going to come 24 this year, Toddy. I think it's now time for him to find his feet, believe in himself a lot more, and really be able to take the game to the next level, especially his game. If his personal, the team's not going to do great, that's fine. But if you're doing yourself right and you're doing, your personal targets, you're hitting those, and you're personally playing good football, I think a lot of fans are going to be able to jump back on board and really support Toddy, because I know a lot of people love him, a lot of people criticise him, and he's sort of that player that people are like, damn, I really wish he did this and I really wish he did that. And he's sort of like a scapegoat as well. And he has been dropped from selection. Ken Hinkley has heard the voice from fans and really seen it. Well, okay, he's got to get dropped now. He's had his last opportunity. But also, I would like Ken to challenge him as well, not be the selection puppet as such. And what I mean by that is, he's escaping getting dropped, or he's just being told what to do, and he's a love child of Ken Hinkley as such. I think you've got to challenge him a lot more, and if he does deliver, then he's able to be rewarded. But yeah, that's my thoughts on why Todd Marshall is in for a big year. I think he's going to be able to take that next step, and I thought that last year, but I wasn't quite convinced. And then early on, he was just stagnating and was a little bit injured and this and that. Full pre-season under his belt. I've heard nothing about his injuries, and I'm really looking forward to seeing what he can do in 2022, because Toddy, it's time to shine. Well, thank you for watching this video, Port fans. I really appreciate all the support. Kickstarting 2022 has been massive. I hope you like the new Guernsey too. This is the training top, the pink magenta looking. I'm in love with it at the moment. So the 2022 range out now at the Port store. That's not a plug, by the way. I went there the other day. It looks fantastic. So make sure you get down and have a look at that, and get around the gear for 2022. Make sure you subscribe to the channel as well if you're new, for plenty more Port Adelaide and AFL content that'll come your way across this 2022 season. It's a big year for ThePear. The channel's turning 5, so next week we'll be celebrating the channel's birthday. There's one more video to come this week as well, and I hope you like this new style of video, just a discussion piece to see where we stand on different players and different topics, and I hope you all get involved as well. So thank you very much for watching. My name is Anthony, and as always, Cante.